Hi guys, how y'all doing today? This is Coach D. Darrell Spears. Happy to talk to you once again. It's been a while, ready to get things going, get the continuity going, get things going in reference to doing our videos, having discussions. So, I had a request for this particular video. Shout out to my boy Vicky, and that's in the Umar Johnson sector that I've been affiliated with for quite some time. Vicky basically placed a message in one of my previous videos and said, Coach D, can you talk about the dynamics of men and women being friends? Can men and women be friends without taking it to the other level or creating those gray areas? Or can men and women truly be friends without having an attraction or or being sexually involved? And so this is a very complicated, very complicated question. Has a lot of layers. To me, and in my position, there is no right or wrong way to discuss whether or not it can be true or it can't be true. There are tons of examples that have shown how men and women have attempted to be friends and somebody crossed the line somewhere down the line. It may have not been in the first year, second year, 5 years, and it usually is sparked by some type of crisis, something that or celebration. Sometimes it may involve some alcohol, recreational drugs, things of that sort, in which the unconscious becomes the conscious, because as men and women, we are, subconsciously attracted to one another. And sometimes the implementation of certain substances can allow what has been repressed to come out. So, in revisiting this, and this has been a discussion I think is talked about all the time. I personally think in most situations, men and women can be friends without sexual involvement. Because there are tons of examples of men and women who are not attracted to one another, or even if they are attracted to one another, whether they're involved with someone or not, they make a conscious effort not to take it to that next level. Now, another question that can be posed is, can a man and woman be friends without being attracted to one another? Now, that's a whole nother situation, because I'm going to say no to that. I don't think men and women, for the most part, can be friends in most situations, and one or two persons that are involved may not be attracted to one another. In most situations, dealing with the opposite sex, men tend to like to be around women that they are attracted to, or find to be pleasant or easy to look at as friends. Women also like to be around men who they find physically attractive but may not be interested in dating. So the problem is, in a lot of cases, even though not in most cases, but in many cases, there's at least one person who acts out and tries to push things to the next level. So I'm going to be honest, and most men and women do not trust their boyfriend or girlfriend, husband or wife around the opposite sex. I know I don't, and I know that my wife doesn't. And most women that I know, even those that I am friends with, they do not trust their husbands or partner around the opposite sex. Now, are they okay that their partner has friends? Are they comfortable with it? And in some cases they are, some cases they're not. most women I say are somewhat okay, depending on the character of the woman. I think that has a lot to do with it. Now, I had a YouTuber that I know that went to a city where she had a friend there, and she could not see that friend in the city that she visited because her partner said, it's not you that I don't trust. It's the guy that you're friends with that I don't trust. I trust you, but I don't trust him. And so most men have that type of perspective. And some women. Or some women just purely just don't trust a man, period, around other women. So most women and men can have a friendship. However, in a lot of those cases, but not most cases, someone usually makes a pass. Okay? And it's usually because of attraction, because regardless of as a man or a woman, we have a tendency to be friends with people of the opposite sex that we are attracted to or find attractive. Not all the time. Listen, many of my videos we will discuss things in which I'm not saying it's a one-size-fits-all thing, or I'm not going to speak in the majorative. What I am going to speak on is the fact that there are no absolutes when it comes to this. But I think there are not most cases, but a lot of cases. There are so many examples of men and women who thought they were going to be friends, and then they end up sleeping with each other. That happens. Matter of fact, there's a large percentage of people who are married who started off as friends, and then they eventually began to date. They eventually decided to be sexually involved. I'm going to say, as a man, if you have a partner who has a lot of friends of the opposite sex, let's say they have, you with a woman who has 8 friends that are all men and no friends that are women, that's a red flag for me. Not to say you don't trust her, but we cannot be avoiding the fact that when men and women, whether you're friends, associates, that sexual attraction, that dynamic of that always exists, and it can be exploited and it can be manipulated. It can come out into action at any time. I don't care how faithful a man may claim that he is or a woman may claim, there's always a risk of that. Okay? So, men and women can become friends. Although, men and women also can be attracted to each other, which could lead to someone making a pass. That's my answer. I'm not going to sit here and say men and women cannot be friends. That's not true, because there's tons of men and women who are friends. But there's also a ton of men and women who have been friends, and they had that little night situation, that little one-on-one situation, or what have you, that one night stand, or that slip up. They got drunk, they got high. We just had fun tonight, so what the hell of it? Somebody was emotionally vulnerable, and you just happened to be there, and things happen. Okay? And there's a lot of situations when a man or a woman, even though they may like someone that they're friends with, they want to show that person how good they are through the friendship, although they're not comfortable enough or confident enough to let them know how they really feel about them. And they're just hoping through that friendship, the right situation can come about where they can display how they really feel. So it's a very, very complex question. I don't know if I answered the question to your satisfaction, Vicky.